Hey, it's Tom,
And Rumble.
and this is the Happy Hour, episode 2. We actually made it to a second episode.
Yeah, surprisingly. Okay. You know,
you know, uh, the first one kind of worked out a lot of things, and we're ready to go on this one. Um, but
a lot more tech. A lot
a
more
lot
tech.
more tech. Yep. So if things sound a little wonky in this episode, please forgive us. It's just one of those things where we're trying new things out, and hopefully it works. If not, we'll have to dial it out or dial it in a little bit here. I guess we're gonna get right into it. Interesting thing happening here locally with our local short track here. Recently, Mahoning Valley Speedways went up for sale, and there's a local gentleman, who is trying to raise money to save it. And it's interesting because I can't remember there being a time without racing at Mahoning. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Right.
been there for 70 years. I believe
Yeah.
there was a hiatus in the mid 80s for about 10 years. But it's a good place for families to go to. There's lots of people who've been racing there for years. I believe there was a quote saying that the drivers who are there now, some of them are the fourth generation of race car drivers at that track.
Right.
Um, so guy's name's Devin Schmidt. He has a Facebook page dedicated. It's Save Mahoning Valley Speedway. We're going to share that. We already did share it on our page, but we're going to share it again. If you can help him out at all, we would appreciate it. I'm sure he would as well. Um, he wants to have some more things other than racing there, and one of the things he brought up is concerts and community events and monster trucks, and maybe bringing motocross in. And these are all ideas he's had, and we were able to watch his live stream a little earlier
Yeah.
today. And it's just one of those things where you gotta, he's trying to save it. And if you can help him in any way, whether it's financially or you know um,
Just by sharing and
sharing it.
supporting
Yep.
it and getting it out there, because you might just your share might get out to that some person that somebody that has that available funds or available avenues to go.
Right, and he is crowdfunding this. So he was talking a little bit about maybe, like, if you donate, whatever amount of money, you would get a lifetime pass, so you would never have to pay to get in there, or a year, pass for a year, or something. So I go check him out.
Right.
We want to see a local guy succeed. He said he's always kind of been his dream to own a racetrack. He's from the area. He's raced there. So he kind of knows what it's about. Um,
And that being said, I mean, in America, a lot of tracks are closing up because you got residential homes that are coming. Laguna Seca was just in jeopardy of closing its doors because of the people around it. They build houses around these tracks, and then they want to sit there and complain about the noise.
Yep, the noise.
Look, back years ago, there used to be New Jersey, Flemington, Ray Abraham.
That, I believe, that is now a shopping mall.
It was a shopping mall, right? Because all the car dealerships, they hated the dirt, they hated the this, they hated that. Well, you know what? Don't build next to a track. Look at Reading, the what's the shopping mall now? But it used to be the fairgrounds track. I mean, that's
Right.
gone. I mean, it's just a lot of these places are going for insurance reasons, residential complaints, this, that, it's, and you're not going to get, how do you become a race? If you are very passionate about race car, racing or anything like that, where's your avenue? Your local tracks.
Right, and it's already expensive enough. It's already time consuming enough that if you have to go to a track outside of your immediate area, it's just phasing out a lot of people who want to do it as a hobby.
Right.
Yeah. And that's kind of one of the things that he was talking about, is he wants to keep it affordable. He wants to not have that it's so pricey to race that the average person who wants to race can't afford it.
Right.
And good for him. We're trying to get him some exposure here. So again, go to his page. It's Save Mahoning Valley Speedway on Facebook. He's got a bunch of information on there. Uh, right before we started recording this, he was still live answering questions. Anybody can go there and ask him questions about how he plans on doing this. But sometimes you just got to support the local guy, because if
Yeah.
not, we're gonna have another Wendy's or McDonald's or some other, probably a Dollar General, the way those things are popping up. And
Yeah, they pop those things up out of nowhere.
there's not much in this area to do so as it is.
Right.
You know,
Be a Live Nation. Live Nation can take over everything. It's like they
right.
took over all the concert, venues and Live Nation promoting.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, it's been here forever. It's a staple, and I hate to see it go. I spent many a Saturday nights there, and you know,
Now,
as
did
a
you throw
kid.
any hands there?
Did
That,
they?
that was
Yeah,
that. I mean,
sometimes. Sometimes they
there
would.
was a joke. I went to go to Mahoning and went to go see a fight, and a race broke out.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Like, and there was some heated. I mean, personally, when I went, I saw some heated battles there.
Right.
Drivers throwing helmets at each other. Ripping guys out of the car. Like, oh my god, it was. I mean, that was part of the experience.
Right, and it was, and that's what short track racing is: beating
Right.
and begging, moving people out of the
Right,
way,
getting
and
hot, heated.
I get people don't want their stuff tore up every week, and that's kind of one of the things he touched on too.
I mean, Rubbin's racing, bro.
Rubbin's racing. It's a
Rubbin's
short
racing.
track. It's what's going to happen. But the thing of it is like, you and I are both racing fans.
Love it.
Various disciplines of racing, from
Right.
drag racing to motorcycle racing to
Yeah.
motocross to NASCAR to
Le
Le
Mans,
Mans, figure eight racing, things like that. And
yeah, if there's anything, I'll race it.
right.
I mean, we'll race bikes, we'll race whatever, tricycles.
And it's just one of those things where it's almost historic,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know. And we are sort of getting into this thing where let's tear down this and let's put up a mall.
Yeah.
Like we
We
don't.
need no more malls.
It's not even that we don't need malls. Like I would
Oh.
like there to be a little bit more variety here as far as that stuff goes as well. But the thing of it is
Don't
like
give me that. You're still gonna buy shit off of Amazon.
I am.
Yeah,
You're right.
so,
But there are
you know-
just some things. There are just some things I want to be able to go to the store and be able to look at and touch and try on. Or like I would
try
never.
on. Okay, yeah.
I would never buy a computer off of Amazon. I want to be able to get my hands on it. I want to be able to try and, Best Buy is a good example of this. I can get on there and kind of do things on
What
there.
do you do? Hack the government and stuff. Like
Right,
that.
yeah, like do my black hat stuff. But,
yeah. I porn. That's for me. Internet's for porn.
right, internet's for porn, and
But they don't like that. Best Buy, they frown upon that. I came in there one time. I had, my lotion, and I don't want to look for computers. And they're looking at me strange. Like, come on, dude. Like,
it's one of those things though. Like what I'm saying is,
Right.
as great as Amazon is for the convenience, I don't think, at least not now, I don't see where we're going to completely replace
brick and mortar.
Yep. Like I'll tell you, I'll give you an example. Like I had a online bank for 15 years, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever until it wasn't.
Yep.
It's
a pain in the ass.
So now I have a brick and mortar bank here in the area, and I like it better than I did my online banking.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things where I had a brick and mortar bank. I didn't like it for a variety of reasons. I went online only. Hey, I never have to go to a bank.
Yep.
But now you find yourself in situations is you don't have a bank around the corner where you can pull money out without paying an ATM fee and an online banking fee.
Or like me, I had did the online banking thing, and then all of a sudden I hit big on the Bet River, DraftKings. I hit for.
And now you can't cash the check.
And I had a hell of a time cashing that check. Oh, this is phony. No, it's not phony. Like, and I had that. I went and got a bank account just to cash the check.
So my question, while you brought it up, is how come they send you a check and just don't direct deposit the money?
I don't know. Well, why they take the money out like instantly, and then if you get a refund or whatever, they got to get it back. It might take 5 to 10 days for them to give you back your money. You know what, bitch? It took you like seconds to take it out. Can you put seconds to put it back in? Like that always grind my gears.
So the thing is when the bank has your money, they're garnering interest on it. So they will take the maximum amount of time to give you your money back because they're getting interest. And you figure your 100 or $200 or $500 or $1,000 might not seem like much, but when they're doing that to everybody
Oh yeah.
who does business there, they're making money.
Yep.
So with that said,
Yeah. Go check out the dude's page. Like we said, we're gonna put a link in. Check out his page. You know, and let's try to get this. Let's try to keep this track going.
yep, support them any way you can. If you know somebody who is connected to racing somewhere else, if somebody's a professional or somebody has some money they want to help out with, I'm sure, he's open to any idea right now. I'm sure something could be worked out. But hey, at least support him. Again, a local guy. He's right down the highway from us, literally 10 minutes away. Palmerton. Yeah, he's from Palmerton. He seems like he's a really cool dude. I don't know him personally. This whole thing the last couple days since it's developed is the first time I've ever heard of him. He's been online ever since doing live videos. He's met with ownership of the track already, I believe. He's trying to make things happen, and we need somebody who is going to be invested in that. We need things to do here. We don't have skating rinks or skate parks or.
There was probably a lot of sorry.
Right, we don't have skating rinks or skate parks or anything anymore here.
Nothing.
It's all
None.
Walmarts, Dollar Generals, pizza shops, and McDonald's, fast food, and the police station.
Yeah.
The only thing good about the police station is usually when you visit there, you get a free ride.
Yeah. Sometimes. You get a ride there, but then they're like, okay, well now you're shut out of luck, find your own way home. I'm like, hell with that, I'm walking. I don't care where you let me out at 3:00 in the morning.
Luckily, the police station is not that far from where we live.
Yeah, Jared Santee, yo, you are right. There was a lot of Santees fighting in the racing. Your family, yeah.
I can remember when I would be going out there, and I'm talking the days when it was Boops Arner, Rod Snyder, Dino Eckhart, Chip Santee.
Oh, that.
Those are the guys. Critter, Mike Garris.
Was CZ landscaping?
Yep. That's when I first started going out there. I went out there a lot in the late '80s, early '90s. One of my better friends in high school, his dad raced out there for years. It was fun. I enjoyed going out there. And yeah, there was always a ruckus out there, but you know what? Like, you come back the next week, you went out there and
raced again.
But there's nothing. I've been to big tracks, I've been to small tracks, and there's nothing like sitting at a small track, especially up against the fence where you just get covered in rubber. You can taste the exhaust. Yep. Like, there's
a funny story about that. So I was about 10 years old, and my dad took me out. We would go out on motorcycle rides late at night, and we went out one Saturday night, and we went to Grandview. My dad's not really much. He wasn't really much of a racing fan, but he knew I was very passionate about it. So we go to Grandview, and it was when they had the World Outlaws there. It was packed. It was a packed house. We got there kind of a little late, and there was nowhere to sit. We were looking at the whole track. But there was this one section that was open. Nobody sat in this one section. I was like, okay, let's go sit here. Yeah, we go sit there, and I literally had to I was sitting there 10 years old. I put my motorcycle helmet on, closed the shield, and I was just getting pelted with dirt.
Yep. And
but it was awesome, dude. I was like, dude, this is cool.
I do enjoy dirt track racing, but there was just something for me. I like the asphalt.
Yeah.
That's what I like. There was just something for me with that asphalt. It's a small bull ring track. I can remember, there were times where drivers got into crashes on the quote-unquote backstretch, when they would go over the wall and into, I think they called it Copperhead Country or whatever it was out there behind the backstretch wall.
I mean, racing's racing. Asphalt on third, I think dirt, something reasonable. I love dirt. See the car sideways.
I enjoy dirt, but hear me out. Like, for me, maybe it's just because this is what I've gone to Mahoning almost my entire life. Haven't as much since I got a little older and have responsibilities and
right.
But
now with it being threatened on not being there, it's like, damn.
Right, but. It's neat because I grew up, if anyone's familiar with the area, I grew up in Franklin Township, which is about as far away as you could get in Lehighton area from Mahoning Valley Speedway on a Saturday night.
You hear that?
I could hear, especially when the modifieds would come out. You could literally tell the difference in the classes. You could hear them.
Bumblebees.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it was cool, and I still I'll drive by there sometimes on a Saturday night when they're racing, and it's just it brings back so many memories.
We're
And
gonna have to make a race.
yeah, I definitely want to go. I'm not sure. I'm sure they're going to finish out the year unless somebody buys it. I don't know what the current ownership's plan is right now,
Right.
but it's been here forever. It's been here
Yeah.
forever. Like I've seen so many races, all the different classes. I don't know if you ever saw they run the
Hobby
dirt
stuff.
modifieds on the asphalt out there.
I did that.
That I remember when they first came out. That was like the coolest thing I
It's
ever
not like
seen.
the wheeling. No.
No, like the dirt modifieds.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Like the dirt cars. They'll
put a set of slicks on it. And
I don't even know that they're slicks. I think because they'll slide through the corners on the asphalt.
Interesting.
And there's so many different classes
I mean,
there.
I always thought about. I was one day putting a hobby stock together, and just like, it's expensive, and you don't really make. You're not there to make money, but just cool to.
Well, my cousin raced modifieds out there for a couple years, and he said like you could pretty much win every race and not get the money back you put into it.
Right.
But again, most of the guys who are out there are not out there
For money.
For money, they're
Mhm.
out there because they love racing, and
Right.
they
They put on a show. They put on a show
They
for
do,
for the families.
I've kind of never been disappointed since I've been out there, and I'm not going to sit here and I'm not naive and say it was the best racing I've ever seen week in and week out. But you know what you're getting into. There's not a bad seat in the house. It's small enough that you can see the entire track. There's always somebody bumping somebody and somebody spinning into a wall. And yes, I am one of them guys that goes to the race to see the crashes, but I also like good racing. I like to see two guys at the front battling hard, nose and tail, not even touching each other, just running the shit out of each other.
One's going down, one's coming up.
Right.
Back and forth, back and forth. Beautiful. Well, I mean, I actually enjoy it. I enjoy seeing a nice, clean battle like that.
Right. Yep.
All right. That being said, I guess that's enough on that.
Yeah, definitely. We'll share more information on our Facebook page, so make sure you check out our Facebook page and then check out the Save Mahoning Valley Speedway page. Now we talk about AI and
A1,
A1, yeah, AI, not the steak sauce.
I like that steak sauce. That's good. Some good steak sauce.
This was kind of one of those subjects that we were kind of unsure if we really wanted to talk about because it's such a polarizing, hot button issue right now in society, and rightfully so. We learned firsthand in the past week how scary AI can be, and it's not even like we were doing anything to try and get it to do bad things. We were messing around making songs purely on AI just by giving it lyrics or and prompts and parameters to be into. And some of the songs we came up with are better than the quality we're listening to on the radio.
Right.
And I do have some on here. I unfortunately don't have them access to them right now. But I mean, they're really good songs. I'm probably gonna upload them and share them on the page as a compliment to this podcast here. But like I was blown away. I know I sent it to you, and
I was too.
Yeah,
it's crazy what AI is doing. I just read an article the other day that AI has gotten to Hobby Lobby.
Yep.
There's AI generated art that is on shelves that it's that the hobby
Now here's my thing. So we talked, we said we were talking about how we made some songs in there, and we did, we've done some artwork for the podcast lazily. Right. Yes, we were a little bit lazy. We've done some of the artwork that we use for the podcast.
I can't draw
AI.
So I think it's awesome that I can have AI be like, hey, can you give me a picture of a sunset on the beach, whatever. But I can't draw. I mean, my stick figures have 3 legs.
Actually, our logo was completely done in AI. I didn't even show it a picture of what we look like. I just kind of typed in a description of kind of what we look like, and I think it came out really good. It's also the logo on our Facebook page, so
Yeah,
I think it came out like it kind of almost looks like us,
it does. It's
you know.
scary. It
And
does. It's really scary.
I didn't upload a picture or anything, and I just kind of described us to the AI, gave it some parameters, and this is what it came up with.
Right.
And we're a small podcast. We're not going to be sticking money into art and promotion and stuff like that. We can't. Like we're not
Yeah.
even really doing this for the money. But we kind of figured out why it kind of has people geeked out a little bit, because if we can do the things we did, who like I with the last month or so is really the first time I've got my hands on AI. And I'm using a couple different programs now because I kind of graduated from Chat GPT, kind of using some other things now.
I mean, ChatGPT. That's your pretty much your basic
Right. It's
intro to AI.
it's very restrictive though. Like you can't go on there and ask it to make a naked picture of, you know, uh
Me.
Thelma and Louise.
Oh,
Won't do it. You know,
if you want to make a picture, I can go ahead and make a picture.
I'm just saying, like you can't get it to do that stuff. But
Send nudes.
we actually were messing with it. Excuse me, we were actually messing with it and asking it some questions, and Chat GPT has some pretty stringent guide rails in place. Like it answers the questions exactly the way it should answer the questions. We asked it if it planned to take over the world, and it's like, no, I'm just a tool.
Right.
You know, and we were
And I had some run-ins with the Chat GPT. Like I had a scenario where something happened at work, and so I punched in. I had I made a hypothetical HR person, and then union rep, and
right
then me, and then if you plug in the different parameters, it pretty much, dude, it went
every step.
every step, every possible angle they could go at, boom, and it was like the AIs were battling each other, like, and it was
Yep.
I was sat back and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. They're pretty much thinking and responding on their own.
Right. So now ChatGPT is geared. There's a lot of different GPTs that you can program into there. I don't know if you explored that at all, but
A
there's
little
one
bit,
for music, there's one for art, there's
yeah,
one for
personalities, and yeah,
personalities. I believe like you can actually set up a AI like answering thing now on
oh
there.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm still exploring it. Like I kind of just use it just for, fucking around with it. Like
I'm
I
using to
haven't
make
been
money. I can have like an answering system,
right.
and
So, you know, we kind of understand now why people are sort of afraid of it. And especially since in the United States, there are no real laws about governing AI. It's
right,
sort of like the Wild West here. Unlike the European Union, they have some guidelines. Here in the United States, specifically in Pennsylvania,
but not
we don't really have anything. They're developing them right now. So it is the Wild West with AI. And I get, we use it in a way that helps us. We use it for what it was intended for. We
now.
use it as a tool, but how long does it really take before somebody starts using it? And I think this is the
Maliciously.
ethical question that people are asking: is how long before people start using it maliciously?
I mean, it's already happening. I mean, look at you answer your phone and it says, your warranty on your truck is about to expire. A lot of be surprised. It's hard to tell AI from an actual real human being anymore.
Right. So while you're on that subject, I got a phone call today while I was at work, and it said spam phone call or spam call or
Right.
whatever. And so I answered it, and it was very clearly AI on the other end. But this AI was programmed to have people talking in the background to make it sound like they were in an actual office with other people on the phone.
Really,
Yes.
that is crazy.
Yep.
I
And I know you and I were talking a little bit about this throughout the week about, the pros and cons of AI, and, you know,
there's a lot of cons. I mean,
th- th-
there's a lot of pros too. I mean,
there are.
it's to me, it's how you use it. But Now they say that there's a lot of so these AI programs are developed in China, whatever, and there's a lot of companies over there that are just a room full of AIs,
Right.
and they're just out there cold calling people, and you get that one nice little old lady that she gets her bank card and she gives it to them and they're
Wants to
done.
get our AI generated grandson out of prison.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And and it's a shame because you know there's people out there that fall for this every
Yeah.
single day, and that it's untraceable. How are you going to track somebody overseas? Probably using a VPN.
Yep.
So it's
So now, like AI does have some positive uses, and I want to say the majority of the ones that I've come across in my research has been primarily more in the medical field,
right.
where they're using AI to,
Get you signed in on your
not even that. Like instead of a scientist sitting there for years going through, gene sequences and how to just let's just say cancer. They're going through all the genome of cancer and figuring out a way to treat it. They can now train AI to do it and do it in a matter of minutes. So while I would say if we're going to find a cure for cancer, it's going to be from AI.
we already have it.
That is another episode.
Yes.
That will be on our conspiracy theory episode.
Yeah, we got a lot of conspiracies, and we got some good folks that we're gonna line up to debate some cool things. But so I mean, what's that movie with the trucks and the machines all going?
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, I mean, when is that gonna be? Is that ever gonna be an issue? I mean,
It's
if we
sort
can
of
upload,
it's sort of happening now.
right? So if I can open up my computer right now, which I have it open, and I can upload a virus to somewhere and send it to anywhere. How comes I can't upload that virus to a truck that's driving, 80,000 pound load, and I'm just gonna upload a virus on him, and let's look at that. I'm gonna turn off his brakes. Yep, there goes the brakes.
Well, you can because I remember when when Tesla first came out, there were instances of people hacking into the computers of the car, which is AI. Self
Right.
driving it is AI.
So I mean that's gonna be dangerous.
And it's funny that you brought up Maximum Overdrive because we were talking right before we started recording here about Mac doing their autonomous trucks.
Right. So yeah, so I think Mac has completed three from a country, Pennsylvania, out to California. Three completely autonomous runs, California back, all AI, and that's scary when you think about it. That you're gonna put up to an industry. I would think there would always need to be a licensed, CDL holding driver in that seat. But I mean, the trucking industry alone is very it's a demand. There's a demand for good drivers, and there's always demand for everything that we have. Beer gets shipped by truck, computers, everything that we consume, everything gets shipped by truck. So now,
I don't
what's
think
that going to do to the drivers?
I don't think you can ever replace a good driver with anything.
I would hope not. But these companies, it's all about the bottom dollar and cutting costs and cutting this. I think if they would try to do that, they would it would hurt. It would hurt them in the long run. Do all.
It would,
I think it would be a lot of. I could see a lot of over the road shipping being autonomous, and then once it goes to the warehouse and you break it down, and then the regional being an actual human maybe. There's got to be some kind of regulations that they put on it. I don't know, but
I don't know enough about that AI side of the logistics, and I don't know anywhere near enough about truck driving to know.
I'm from a family of trucking.
Right, so that's why, but it's interesting because I know you especially know a bunch of truck drivers.
Right.
And I'm kind of curious on, and you can email us this or hit it up on the live stream here, and we'll try to catch it as it goes by. But is AI in the autonomous vehicle something that really threatens you, or like what are your feelings on it? Do you think it's a tool? Like, will a driver always be in the cab? And now, I know you're required to have so many hours of sleep, and
Right.
and they're all electronic
Yeah,
logs
it's all
now.
e-logs now.
So now, is this something that'll actually help the driver in the long run?
I feel, me personally, and I know some other drivers, they feel like this is going to be a step back because there for a while. Drivers aren't making nearly the amount of money that they should be making. They're away from their families a long time,
which is bullshit.
and they're out there dealing with asshole drivers all the time. We have slow connections a lot, but I don't know why. So they're out there dealing with that, away from their families, trying to find a truck stop that actually has an opening, that you can actually sleep for the night because one, you get a ticket for sleeping on the side of the road. Some businesses don't want you sleeping, in the lot, and then you get to a truck stop and there's no openings. So, they want all these laws, but yet they're not giving the truck drivers what they need. And I think that with these autonomous, with having, AI truckers out there, it's gonna take away from what they can. They were asking for a better, a better rate, better, more money, more, facilities.
But
That's gonna take away from that.
here's my question, and again, anybody can jump in, and I'm not trying to. I'm just asking questions here. So hypothetically speaking, uh, are truck drivers usually paid by the distance they're going,
It
or is
depends.
it by the load?
Some companies play by the rate. You'll get a certain rate on that they say this whatever their shipping is X amount of money they make. Well, you get a certain percentage of that rate. Or a lot of companies are they get 47, 52 cents a mile. So every mile you go, you get like 50 cents, and then a certain rate. So it depends on the company and
So my real question comes down to, let's say on average, how long would it take somebody to leave Allentown, Pennsylvania, and go to Los Angeles, California? It following the law in the books. How long would that take? 5 days?
no,
3 days?
I mean, you can basically do about almost 500, 550 miles a day. And then you need your 10 hours off. And so you got to think how many miles is California? 2,400, 2,500.
It's yeah,
So
about
that'd take
there.
a that'd be a three-day haul.
So now here's my question. So let's say, and that's with the required rest time, correct?
Right. I mean, there's certain like cattle haulers. They don't have to attain to certain laws. They're exempt from a lot of things. So, but a lot of those cattle haulers, man, they're 100 miles per hour out west, and they're flying.
So my question is, and again, I'm not, I'm just asking questions here. So let's say there's a driver, and let's just say certain stretches of highway. Obviously, I wouldn't want to see autonomous going through high traffic areas,
Or 78.
through cities or stuff like that. But open interstates, cross country through wherever. Would it be beneficial to the driver to have an autonomous system that when they drove the amount of hours they could have they can drive in a day, that it would switch over to autonomous? They can go back in the sleeper, get the rest. The truck would drive. When they wake back up, they have their rest in. They could kind of go back, take it off of autopilot, and continue driving. So now you'll be able to drive somewhat 24 hours a day instead of, what is it, 12?
Right. I mean, you got that now with with team drivers. But here's the thing: are they gonna actually allow? Do you think the government is gonna allow you to let the truck just drive and you go sleep? Because if that's the case, then man, I want to be a truck driver because I'm
But
gonna go sleep
my
back all
my
the time.
question is this: what is the difference between that and a truck having nobody in it going cross country entirely by itself?
You're right. You're right. But I don't know if I would want to see a truck complete complete by itself. Now I don't know. I don't think the trucks that went with that Max sent. I don't. There was somebody in the cab with them.
Right, and that's exactly the scenario I'm trying to paint right now. So
So there'd almost be like a conductor.
right, so I don't think for me, for my comfort of this situation, is I would never want to see a truck
No.
barreling down the highway
Heck no.
with nobody in it, with no living entity in this truck. I think, maybe now the driver kind of has to play IT with the truck a little more. Like, it's a little less about driving and a little more about
Okay.
the tech, troubleshooting the tech side of it. But I often wondered about this because we are in a society now where there are fully autonomous taxi cabs in some cities. There's no driver in this taxi at
Mm-hmm.
all. The way I understand it is you schedule it on an app. Your location is pinned. This taxi comes. Actually, they were just set on fire in like
Yep.
California
Yep.
or somewhere.
I mean, there's autonomous. I don't know if you're not familiar with like the warehousing industry, but they're doing away with yard jockeys.
I'm very familiar with the warehousing
Okay.
industry. I was a plant manager
Well,
for quite a while.
so yard jockeys, they're doing away with yard jockeys. They're all autonomous. It's a little dolly that just has a scan code and boom, and let's say you want trailer, 2 at door number 10. Well, you schedule, boom, boom, boom. This
There,
dolly goes up, picks up the trailer,
there were
puts it in the dock, boom, done.
there were plants that we subcontracted, and the only reason that we were able to get the work that we subcontracted from these companies is because robots and AI could not do the things that a human could do.
Right.
I've gone into plants where the forklifts had nobody on them.
And they're picking themselves.
It was almost kind of like it reminded you of slot cars where they're on a track.
Yep.
And the tracks would go between all the aisles and the stacks and shelves, and they would pick out what they needed, and take it and put it on the truck.
And a lot of the warehouse, like I know my buddy, Pat, he works for a company that they put all the racking systems in, and all that's automated now too. Like
Yep.
you just type it on that, and then dude, boom, whatever you want's coming out, and so you got forklifts picking, orders, complete orders, jockeys, putting trailers in that are complete orders. Put a trailer in, forklift picks it, shrink wraps it, loads it on the truck, and then the autonomous truck is gonna come and pick it up and take it out. So you just eliminated 20, 10, 20 jobs. I mean, 10, 20 jobs. It's just at one facility.
So you just kind of put the thought in my head, okay? And I know this isn't two of the same things, but to me, I draw the parallel of this. So we kind of talked about we were able to make music, make some artwork and stuff like that. Talking about being able to possibly, or in theory, remove truck drivers and the human from that aspect of it. I don't like the idea, and I kind of put it. And this is, I'm going off the wall here, but would you watch a race
Huh.
with no race car driver and they were just autonomous cars racing around the track? Would you watch that?
Absolutely not.
Right, right.
For
So
what, I mean, the human element is that's what's.
right.
I don't know. It would be follow the leader. I think.
Yeah, and when I worked at the warehouse, I met a lot of truck drivers.
They're interesting people.
Some better than others.
Yeah, some they. One thing I gotta say about the truck drivers. Sorry to all my friends that are truck drivers, but you guys bitch and moan and cry a lot.
It wasn't even that. Wasn't even that. It was funny because like we would have Swift come there a lot.
Oh yeah.
And Stevie Wonder's Institute for Truck Drivers.
Yes sir. Yes
Or for
sir.
trucking rather.
Yeah,
But
there's a lot of them.
on several occasions they would back an empty trailer in for us to load and not open the doors in the back of the trailers.
Gotta love that.
Right.
I love when they don't close the doors and the door goes swinging and all the way to the door on some hinges that are pretty old and the door is not too good a shape and they just get ripped right on off.
And like those are the things that would make or break my day. If I was on the forklift and I had to deal with that shit, I was upset. If I was at my desk in my office looking out my window and watching my forklift driver go through this, I would laugh my ass off.
Would you?
Would I what?
Would you? Or would you be pissed because you're watching a forklift driver?
No, I'm watching my forklift driver and I'm laughing my ass off because now he knows why I am the way I am as his supervisor.
Gotcha.
I
mean, we used to get it at Nessa. We used to get people wouldn't know how to back their truck in to the dock, and it's like the one time the one dude got so mad he actually almost got fired because he was like, you know what, I'll back it in for you, and he backed it in, loaded up, and it came to bite him in the ass. So
Well, what was funny because we had a yard jockey. We didn't have our own yard jockey. We had a yard jockey from
Mexico or whatever.
No. In the industrial park, there was a trucking company.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
So, excuse me. So we worked out a deal because one of the companies we were subcontracting through was also in the industrial park. So we worked out a deal with this trucking company where they would jockey the trailers from, because they could use the jockey trucks because they weren't actually going out on the roads.
Right.
They were within the industrial park. So they would jockey the trailers from this company to our facility. But we were also loading JB Hunt. We were loading Swift. We were loading Estes. We were, so it wasn't just this particular company. It depends if we were shipping to Atlanta, if we were shipping to San Diego or Mississauga, Canada. It just depends where it was going. Yeah, Mississauga. It's right over the border near Toronto. Yeah.
Never heard of it. Canadian.
But so it all depends. Like JB Hunt did most of the Canadian runs. Swift did our. I think they did our Atlanta. It's been a while since I worked there. I think they did our Atlanta runs. Estes did. I think Estes did our runs like down to the Lehigh Valley. And then there was a couple other companies, and then there were companies who were just like it was put out. Owner operators where it was put out on
a board.
The brokers. Yeah, they would go through a broker and get it.
Too. Those brokers are getting. They're cutting drivers' throats for the brokers. They make them. How can a broker make so much money and they don't even do nothing?
Right. Well, but
that's what I want.
Because they have the connections.
Yep.
So the thing of it is when we would have a truck driver come after hours, or he would drop a trailer and leave, our jockey from another company would not. Well, the truck company that did our jockeying would not shoulder the liability to hook up their trailer,
right,
to pull it out, open the doors, and put it back.
And then you would have a what do you call it? A dead soldier sitting in one of your doors,
right?
You ain't doing nothing with.
So I'm gonna put it in perspective for you. We had 5 dock doors. We were a small operation. We had 5 dock doors, maybe 6. But we were sending about 20 to 30 tractor trailers in and out a day.
Okay.
All right. And this is an 8-hour shift. We ran one 8-hour shift. We were banging product out.
Right.
When you have a dead soldier at a dock, it creates fucking problems.
Oh, yeah.
So I said all this to ask this. If AI malfunctions as much as my Google Maps malfunctions, and it tells me to make rights in the cornfields and drive off cliffs and takes me down roads that don't exist, what is going to happen when the AI driving that truck brings a trailer and parks it sideways along 3 dock doors?
Or not, release your ICC bumper latch and decides to drive off and rips your ICC bumper off completely. So now, who's going to pay for that bumper?
Right.
Is the AI company going to be responsible for that, or what's...
I would assume whoever's name is on the side of the truck would be responsible, because I don't think we're ever going to live in a society where a trucking company is not held liable.
Right.
And I think that's sort of the reason why, that and fuel costs is sort of the reason why trucking has become to the point where a lot of owner operators can't make a go.
I mean, when you got your fuel, you got your insurances, you got...
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
You got to pay your to run in that state. You got to pay each state a certain, to get it, your registration or whatever. And it's getting to the point where it's hard to make a living out there. You really got to run your balls off. You got to miss everything, weekends, everything. You're always gone, always running.
And the other thing that's real scary about AI, and we kind of got a glimpse of that during this last election, where there was a lot of AI generated news.
It's still going on.
Still going on both sides of the aisle. I'm not making this statement to be political. I'm just saying, like, there was a lot of bullshit that looked fucking real. Like, and I'm still seeing it. Like,
yeah.
I saw on Facebook today at work, actually, right after I talked to you.
Well, there's it. You go to Facebook to get your news.
No.
But I'm saying,
I'm saying, I watched the CNN broadcast. This looked dead ass like CNN. It even had the anchors on it.
Oh, wow.
and it showed Washington, D.C. with a mushroom cloud and said that Iran
This bomb.
nuked Washington, D.C.
So now, can you imagine if you're, some of the older generation, they're not too tech savvy, and they just come to
Well, now
with fear.
let me say this. I think if we use our neighborhood as a microcosm, and I'm sure people are going to relate to what I'm saying, there are a lot of dumb motherfuckers in this country,
Yeah.
and it transcends race, it transcends religion, it transcends political affiliation. Like, there are dumb motherfuckers in every aspect of life. There are dumb motherfuckers. Like, I cannot believe some of the shit that I hear on a daily basis that comes out of people's
I
mouths.
can't believe they're still alive.
And while, right, and while I'm so used to hearing dumb shit, it puts a little bit of worry in me that some of these crazier dumb motherfuckers
among us.
are going to actually start believing some of the. They already believe it.
Well,
I'm afraid the idiots are going to organize.
And they pretty much already are somewhat. I mean, come on, let's get your gun, Cletus, come on. They just don't blow up Washington, D.C. Let's go get our gun. We gonna fight.
You use
the
that.
South will rise again.
You use that accent, and it's funny because I'm starting to believe that the people who
watch what you say now. We have a lot.
No. I'm starting to believe that the redneck stereotype you were just portraying are some of the smarter motherfuckers on this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
the rednecks are. I mean, they're what won us wars. I mean, when a little, we're Revolutionary War times. We're going against the biggest army ever, the British, and hey, bunch of rednecks in the fields, and we gonna get this.
Yep.
And
yeah. You thought I was going somewhere different.
I thought you were gonna bring up like them South people. They are pretty dumb.
No. But what I'm saying is I don't even have that stereotype in mind when I say what I was saying. I just hear people who, on the surface, I would think would know better.
Right.
And they clearly don't.
They don't.
Okay?
Or they don't have a clue. It's just they're that blank.
I don't. You know me well enough. I don't tell people how to live.
No.
You don't wanna vaccinate or get the COVID shot. By all means.
Let's not go down that.
No, but hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
By all means, don't.
Right.
But don't say something so ridiculous to me about they're putting a microchip in you, which I'm going to tell you there's 100 ways why that would never work. But I'm also going to say this. They don't have to put a microchip in you. They already fucking got you.
Yep. I mean, you talk about, like, they can track us. They can track you by the time you walk out your front door. They track because all your neighbors have cameras. So by the time you walk out your front door, get in your car, drive down the street, then you got a red light camera, this camera.
How many times have you and I stood outside or inside or sat out on the deck smoking cigars and we were talking about something that we never searched on our phones, and when we go in there, the first fucking ad on Facebook is the shit we were talking about.
Scary.
So explain to me why we would have to put a chip in you.
I don't know.
You don't.
No.
So, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, that's why AI, I think that's a real, like, I'm not afraid of, like, the sci-fi movie, AI robots are coming to take us over.
Oh, they will, though.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's not a possibility. I'm saying
Terminator's real.
My vision of that happening looks much different than that, than sentient robots coming to wipe us out. It's more, you have a couple crazy guys who have the power of AI, and they blast us with fake propaganda. No.
You know what the scary thing about AI is? Logistic problems. I mean, if you could just, I'm going to shut down the whole East Coast right now, and I'm just going to boom.
Right.
Everything.
And that's exactly what I'm saying.
The frenzy of, I mean, we all saw it with COVID. Right. God, you don't have no toilet paper. Oh my God, people are going nuts. Right. People are,
But that's exactly what I'm alluding to. That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like.
No, it's not
robots
coming.
Blah, blah, blah. It looks like us humans manipulating the AI to manipulate people in the chaos.
Right.
And that's, to me, that's scarier
It's very scary.
than the robots,
Right.
because you can't fight that. You
Well,
can
and then
fight the robots.
and,
You can't fight
can't.
hysteria.
And what you're gonna do is you're gonna fight your neighbor, and that's the thing, you know, like
Right.
it's either my family or your family, and
Well, I already fight the neighbors now,
but yeah, but we gonna get us a
and it
group
ain't because
together.
of AI. No, but that, you know, you're right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is it's not going to be robots coming here,
No,
and
it's gonna be
it's
shutting down.
right. You
It's
know,
gonna be shutting down, areas, and look at in the ice storms in Texas or whatever. Ice storms, and the grid was out for how long? And it's
right.
like, come on, well that they never had ice storms in Texas ever, or like when they had when they're manipulating the weather, and people say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. There
And we
is
will get into
we
that
will,
in another. Yep,
but there is manipulation is
there
crazy.
is,
There's a lot of,
and I'm not even talking.
and we're getting off topic a little
For
bit,
this
but
particular segment, I'm not even talking about that stuff. I'm talking about the real threat of a human having AI to trick. At this point, I don't even think you got to be a real dumb motherfucker. I think you just need to be
a human,
human to be manipulated by AI at this
right?
point. I know there are times where I will watch something somewhere and I have to second guess whether it's real or not.
Right.
I showed you, or I had you watch that Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Yeah.
The three stages from 5 years ago or 10 years ago to 5 years ago or a couple years ago to now, and in that short amount of time, you can't even tell that the newest one is not Will Smith,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's what's scary. But the thing of it is, too, is
So,
I don't think we should not have AI because it does bring a lot of good.
but can you imagine the bad though? So you couldn't tell which one was Will Smith, right?
Right, and that's what I'm
So
saying.
then, what happens if they say, "Oh, well, we got on video that Tom murdered his neighbor down the road," and then they're looking at this video in court and saying, "That looks like Tom.
Yeah,
It might be true."
but my neighbor's right there.
Oh yeah.
Well, but I'm saying I
Oh, over
understand.
there. Okay.
I understand how that's a really real thing.
Right.
You know,
And so, I mean, with any tool, you're gonna have good people use it, like a gun. A gun is a gun. This is a gun. Boom, 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 boom. But am I gonna use it for good? Am I gonna use it for bad?
right?
That gun's still gonna do the same thing.
And that's the exact analogy that I use. Is I don't think AI itself is inherently dangerous. I think it's
People use it.
yeah, whose hands it's in. My other question is this, and you know me, I play guitar, I like to draw, I like to paint. I now have AI that can do these things. So, at what point does AI start replacing the artist?
Yeah. I mean,
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm listening to music,
you don't know if it's generated.
right?
You're the one that showed me about that band.
Yep, Velvet Sundown.
Velvet Sundown. I had no idea. Velvet Sundown. Check them out, guys. It is a band completely AI.
AI generated.
Every member is AI, and
Every aspect of the band is AI, including the pictures and the biography and everything, the music, everything.
so there is no art there anymore.
That's what I'm saying. So there's a bunch of dilemmas that we face with AI, and
It's everything's gonna become mediocre. Just
right.
wow.
And for all I know, one day I'm going to be sitting here doing this podcast with AI generated Rumble.
There will never, let's get this straight right now. There will never be a computer that can generate me, because it would have a meltdown. It would just, so much things going on right here. Like the computer will be like, I do not compute. Because I'm just one of a kind. I'm one of a kind.
And I know one of the other things we talked about with AI, and I don't know if I was speaking to you or someone I work with, but and this kind of goes into kind of one of the topics we're going to get into too, and we actually jumped over that one to get to this is, aliens and space travel, and I think honestly that
Aliens.
if we're going to ever come across an alien, it is going to be artificial intelligence and not biological.
Oh yeah. I mean, illegal aliens.
There's no question whether they exist.
I mean, they're around. It's illegal or not. I mean,
But
um,
so that's the thing. Like I like
real fun.
AI with what we do with it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to tinker around with, whatever. I mean, but it's gonna start getting. There's gonna be some weird things going on with AI, guys. There really
Yeah.
is. You're gonna have these, you know, whole room full of sex bots, and then everybody has their own like AI. So you can download an AI on this, sex bot thing, and then they're like, "Hi, Mr. Tom. How can AI service you?"
Does it does it feel like it should, or is it
Ah,
cold and
no, it's gonna have warmer. I mean, I don't know. There is things out there now. Like I guess I almost like the remember the movie uh Austin Powers.
now my next
Austin
question is
Powers and the fembots.
now my next question is if you had an AI robot for sex, would it still be considered cheating?
No, it'd just be like,
I'm
hey,
using the computer.
I mean, that's hard.
You're
That's some
definitely
nerdy stuff.
yeah. Well, what I'm saying though is you were literally using the fucking computer. And
But I lose the computer to freaking jerk off and watch my fucking
well, now you can
porn.
use it to actually
This is getting a little too deep. I mean, I
right.
don't know. I guess it would be cheating. Like, your wife comes
One
home and just walks in on you and your
sex bot.
sex bot or sex fembot, whatever. And what are you doing? And you hear, the sex bot going,
I'm
"Shut up, bitch!
I'm gonna
I'm
tell
just
you.
doing what you're not
I'm gonna
doing."
tell you something that's gonna blow your mind. What if I told you that there was already an AI robot that was granted citizenship somewhere in this
Oh,
world?
it wouldn't surprise me.
Right. So there's an AI robot named Sophia.
She gets citizenship, but yet Pedro can't get
Well,
citizenship.
not
That's
here in
bullshit.
Saudi
Oh,
Arabia.
okay, all right.
She's 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 90% sentient, which means
She does what she wants.
she does what she wants.
That's scary.
Somebody just has to plug her in once in a while. They have to juice her up. That's it.
Wow.
But like it was weird this week because we actually did some research into the topics we were discussing, and it fucking blew my mind. These are some of the things that we came up with. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
there there are no laws keeping AI in check here in the United States or Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has some weak guidelines that they're still working on. As far as the country, there are none. They were trying to pass a 10-year moratorium on any kind of state AI restrictions. I believe that got left out of the bill, though, in order for it to pass.
mm.
But, like
So I need
Pennsylvania,
to start getting on this AI thing to get a
right?
whole. I can have a. Never mind.
Pennsylvania
I'm
is
gonna stop
trying to
talking right now
become.
because
Listen, but here's the thing I want people to understand. Don't be surprised when the governor of Pennsylvania is AI, because right now we're trying to be the place where AI is going to be
the first.
developed.
Yeah.
We want to have
That's so
we want to be
scary.
AI friendly here, and I don't know how I feel about that. I
Yeah.
like AI, but in the same sense, it's like the people who don't want the windmills next to their house.
You know what? Look up Simpsons did it.
You're,
Simpsons did it all. They. I'm telling you,
right.
Simpsons did it.
So, I'm curious about what some of the people out there in
Yeah. What's
happy
your
hour land think about AI. And again, you can email us tomandrumble@gmail.com, or you
slow
can
connection the whole time? I don't know if
or you
that's
can
weird.
hammer us there. Are you connected to my Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
don't
guess.
know.
But
But
it's
yeah, I'm curious about it because I'm sure we're gonna revisit this topic several
definitely,
times.
definitely, and you're gonna start seeing
Um,
in news that things are gonna be happening more with AI, and it's a
yep.
shame. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to see any American lose their job over an AI. But there
No.
was once a guy that used to pick orders. Amazon.
The thing,
Keep on bitching about the job that you have and not be grateful for the job because it could be gone tomorrow.
Thing about thing about our society is we've gotten very good, and again, this is what technology is. So we've gotten very good at getting smart enough to be as lazy as possible.
Fuck yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I still enjoy picking up a hammer and hitting a nail and getting a saw and cutting wood and building shit. And maybe AI can't really replace that now. You know,
If you could,
but I'm sure on a small scale, I don't know that we'll ever see AI building houses. We might.
you might.
You know,
Setting some, maybe
they're
setting some beams up,
right. They're
and
fucking 3D printing houses now.
well, they have lasers
You
doing,
know,
setting things, and
but the you know I,
hey,
I think the future generations are going to embrace it more.
I don't know if embrace it, but there's gonna come to a point where getting too smart for our own good. To be honest with you, we are getting too smart for their own good.
In all the wrong
In
ways.
all the wrong ways. Like there was a time, when you go to school, you get good grades. You go into a trade. Some people go to college. Not everybody can go to college. When I went to school, they tried to push college to everybody. Oh, everybody go to college. Everybody go to college. Everybody go to college. Well, you know what? And they found out, you need plumbers. You need electricians.
You need
You need
HVAC guys.
you need people in these trades that are, and you're starting to see the trades are getting better pay than some of these college, graduates that come out of college and they can't get a job.
I left the job that I sat in an air conditioner most of the day and got commission for a job where it is skilled labor.
Right.
And the question I always get is why.
You wanted to shoot yourself probably when you were sitting in that office.
Literally wanted to fucking off myself.
Right.
And it wasn't even an office. It was when I was selling cars.
Right. It's just it's the
and
same thing. It's like Groundhog Day every day.
I just wanted to. Not that I would do it. I don't want this being misconstrued. I literally wanted to fucking shoot myself. Because I hated the job. So I left that to do what I'm doing now. And you know what? I haven't, like, when do you ever hear me bitch about going to work?
No, never.
Love it.
I don't think since you got this job, I don't think you ever missed a day.
No.
Oh, just when you got married and stuff.
Well, though that was all scheduled vacation days. I've not called a day off of work, and I was never one to really call off of work to begin with.
Right.
But like I've been there over 3 years, and I haven't called off once. I actually have.
Well, you want a fucking cookie?
90% of the vacation. No, I'm just saying, like,
I use my
think
days.
if
I call
more
off
people,
when there's nice day out, and I'm like, oh fuck, go to work.
I think if more people stop looking at skilled trades as labor and hard, and found a skilled trade that they enjoyed.
There you go. It's not like work.
It's not.
They say find something that you love doing,
and I'm not saying
you'll never work a day in your life.
I'm not saying all days are great, and there are days that I fucking don't want to be there. Yeah, there's shit days in every job.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
Lay in my bed and masturbate all day.
I'm sure the guys in Metallica have shit days on tour.
Not really.
I'm sure they do, but
oh my god,
they're.
I had so many groupies that came up to the bus. And they kept on knocking on the door.
Their shit days are not equivocal to our shit days, but I'm sure they have shit days. It's like that. It's like any job has its good and its bad. But I mean, I got lucky enough, and it was one of those things where I just needed to change. I knew enough about what I needed to know.
Right. I did a lot of things. I enjoyed doing a lot of them.
I went to Penn College for a while and got my certificates there, and did a couple other jobs in that field, and this just kind of fell into my lap. And
he's doing hand jobs behind the freaking 7-Eleven, for
Mart.
spinner money. Yeah. 11 o'clock at night. See him there. He's there.
Let's get it right.
Spinner money. He's got to put it in that machine. Midnight. Got to put it in that machine. Hey, $20. I'll jerk you off for some spinning money.
It was only after midnight.
Wow.
On days that end in a Y.
Okay. Well.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm a big advocate, and when I was younger, I wasn't. maturity kind of put this in me is, my grandfather was a steel worker, and I kind of didn't want to do that. I ended up working where you work now.
Cool.
Which might as well been,
let's not say any names.
right? Which might have well have been Bethlehem Steel.
Welcome to the concentration camp.
Right, but I didn't want to do that, so I wanted to blaze my own path, and I ended up just going from job to job a little bit, and then I found the place where I became plant manager,
right?
And yeah, the money was great. I mean, the money's good now, but the money was great. But at what cost? I was salaried. They owned me, right? They owned me,
own you, bro. Sell out.
I'd have to drive. I was on the road an hour and a half or longer every day.
That's rough.
Now I literally work 5 minutes away from my house.
That's awesome.
8 to 4:30. I get to come home every day for an hour lunch paid. They pay me to come home to eat.
I'm gonna go hang myself tonight.
Right, all the major holidays off. I mean, it is a government job, but all the major holidays off. I
got third shift. I got 12 shifts.
Stupid amount. Well, I told you, I'm trying to get you in there.
I know. I can knock about my job all whatever. But you know what? It pays the bills.
It's a job.
It's a job, and there's some that we have our good days and we got our bad days. Some days are bad, some days are good, but some days we have a good time.
And having worked there, now again, I didn't work. The same conditions are for the same folks you work for. I did work there.
What was the older crew?
The older crew. I will tell you, other than being much more, I don't want to say much more, other than being a little bit more upkept, and like we had 2-week shutdowns in July, which don't exist anymore.
No.
We
run until the wheels fall off.
We had preventative maintenance and stuff like that.
What is that?
Yeah.
Oh.
It wasn't much better. Other than those things, it wasn't much better. It was
gooder.
It wasn't.
It wasn't gooder.
No.
No gooder.
No.
No.
I mean, it was still, the job is what the job is. Yeah, it's hot. It's
hard.
Dirty.
Yeah.
But I look back on those days and I'm like, I'm fucking glad I worked there, because now I know what a shit job looks like.
Right.
And I'm not knocking anybody who works there and likes it. Great for you. But it was worse for me because we had the revolving schedule swing shift.
There would be no way I could do swing shift. No.
Right.
I don't even know how you could have done it, because you can't get in your routine. Like, you're constantly swinging and you're constantly shifting.
Do you see these? Do you see the wrinkles on my face? Yeah, that's what.
I mean, they always laugh and say the graveyard shift is,
it knocks 10 years off your life.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I worked a lot of off shifts. I love second shift, really love second shift when I was bigger into drinking, but not so much anymore. I thought I might be a day shift guy, but yeah, I don't know, night shift.
Well, hopefully one day we'll find out if you're a night shift guy, and I'm gonna get you to come in.
And we'll figure it out. Hey, we'll figure it out. Maybe this podcast might take off, and somebody from CNN or Fox, they say, that guy's pretty fucking good right there, bud. We're gonna sign him for a multi-million-dollar contract, and we don't even know what he's gonna do. And
right. Well, and don't worry, because when that happens, Rumble, I will bring you with me as my assistant.
Oh, great! Oh, thanks. I bring my niggas up with me.
No, but it would be great if the podcast took off.
Hey, it is what it is. I'm just doing this for fun.
But listen, he does have an OnlyFans account. Yeah. He won't tell nobody, but it's cheap. It's only like $4 a month, and he spreads those butt cheeks wide open.
Yep.
Wide open, like Cal in Playgirl magazine from Talladega Nights.
On show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
But with that, our hour is up.
That was quick. We left out LeBron James possibly going to the Chicago, and Chicago possibly getting rid of unretiring 23.
But we can revisit all this stuff. One thing, we do want to start scheduling some guests here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna open this up. Rumble's gonna be the guy who does this.
Jason Keller, big shout out to you. If you want to come on, I know we have talked. Email me, your schedule when you think, and we will get something set up that we can get you on. Al, you can come on too. Anybody can come on.
Anything come on because everybody has a hobby. Everybody has something that interests
And we
them.
can sit here, chill.
Whether you're me and Rumble are conspiracy theorists. More so, I say this with a grain of salt. I don't think every conspiracy theory is a conspiracy theory, but I do believe that there's some fucked up shit happening.
Like the reptilians.
Yeah, reptilians, yep.
Yeah,
or some people having, interesting hobbies. We recently picked up a hobby outside the podcast of smoking cigars. Fucking love it. Like we're becoming like connoisseurs. Like we're starting to put our noses up to some of the cigars at the cigar shops now.
Yeah. They know us now. They're like, oh, those are the two weirdos.
If you
smell the cigar, sir.
Even if you just want to come in and bullshit with us for an hour and 15 minutes, that's fine. Email us, get a hold of Rumble, do whatever you do.
Let's have some fun.
Get a hold of me, however you want to do it. We're gonna start scheduling guests. I'd like to have sometimes more than one guest and do kind of like roundtable conversations or debates or whatever. We're going to get into some conspiracy theories. We're going to get into some wild fucking sci-fi alien shit. We don't really have a format yet, and I think we're just kind of like
winging
it right now, so stick with us. But yeah, we want to start bringing people in and start doing this. So
4 hours up. So
yep.
That being said,
thanks
guys,
for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, like, share, follow, all that good thing. Comment, do this, that, and the third, and love you. We'll see you later, and you have yourself a good night.
Peace.